the camel, the lion, and the child. Three strange figures appear in Nietzsche's philosophy. Why, one wonders, is the last one a child? That very mystery marks the beginning of an adventure. Friedrich Nietzsche. His words shook 25 centuries of tradition and awakened hearts that had long been asleep. At the core of his thought lies the three metamorphoses of the spirit, from camel to lion and finally to child. This is no abstract theory, but a grand tale about how you yourself may one day create your own world. Well then, shall we open the door? Welcome to Goat Theater. First, the camel. The camel is a creature that bears heavy burdens: morality, religion, tradition, the rules of society. It does not simply obey what it is told. Rather, it chooses to take upon itself the heaviest of all burdens. Zarathustra's camel asks, "What is the heaviest thing, O heroes of old?" The patient spirit asks this, that I may take it upon myself and rejoice in my own strength. The camel is the will that seeks to test the power of the spirit. It drinks even dirty water, learns to love insult, humbles its pride, exposes its own foolishness, and refuses to chase after glory. To be a camel at all is already a noble trial, isn't it? The more earnest and patient a soul is, the more it longs to bear a heavy burden. It doesn't merely obey, it chooses to cry out, "Give me the heaviest one!" And so the camel shoulders its load and hastens into the desert. Yet, in that vast and desolate wilderness, the second metamorphosis begins. Here, the spirit becomes a lion. The spirit claims freedom as its own and seeks to rule within the desert it has chosen for itself. The lion now faces its final master, the god that once ruled over all, the great dragon. Upon the dragon's shimmering scales are written the words, "Thou shalt." Each scale gleams with the values of 1,000 years. All worth, the dragon declares, shines from me. All values have already been created, and I am their guardian. It is the chain of sacred tradition, the weight of unquestioned morality and inherited faith. But the lion roars, "I will," a cry that shatters a millennium of servitude, a roar that claims freedom for itself. Once, the camel loved the command, "Thou shalt." It saw it as the holiest of all things and lived by its reverence. But now the spirit must break even what it once loved and step beyond it. Only the lion, with the fierce strength of a wild beast, can accomplish that battle. The burdens borne by the camel, the dragon confronted by the lion, and yet, Nietzsche tells us, the final goal of the spirit is the child. A child? Ho ho, a child, you say? Most people would think, ah yes, after the lion must come the Übermensch. But when they hear that the last form is a child, they find themselves lost in a maze. Zarathustra says, the child is innocence and forgetfulness, a new beginning, a game, a self-rolling wheel, a first movement, a holy yes. In my thinking, this child, you see, is a symbol that regains the power to live purely even after knowing suffering and despair. No matter how deep a darkness a human being may fall into, we seek a small light and rise once more. That is why the child's innocence and playfulness matter so deeply. It is the power to let the darkness dance. Only those who have faced the night and gone beyond it can once again play and dance. And perhaps that play is the very beginning of creation itself, the birth of new values. Nietzsche cherished the symbol of the child deeply. Within this philosophy of the little one lies a rich and hidden vein of meaning. Why the child? What is play? What is innocence? What is forgetfulness? We are meant to keep asking these questions throughout our lives. Nietzsche might say to us, that very question is the flame that shakes the soul, the fire that sets free the spirit bound by 25 centuries of old values. So it's all right not to understand right away. That not understanding, that very unknowing, is what matters most. The answer isn't waiting in a book of philosophy, but somewhere in your own life. And one day, perhaps 10 years from now or 20, a quiet moment may come when you suddenly feel, this must be the child Nietzsche was speaking of. And in that instant, the words of Zarathustra will echo deeply. To read Thus Spoke Zarathustra is not merely to understand it, it is to carry the question, why is the last stage a child? And to keep searching for its meaning throughout your life. That question is itself the highest journey of philosophy. Why the child? In the course of your life, even if what you find is only a small insight, a faint, passing realization, your heart will grow richer, and the joy of creation will begin to rise within you. You will find yourself filled with humanity, with the warmth of being truly human, and you will encounter that moment when simply to be alive is joy. Zarathustra says, now the spirit wills its own will, and the one once cast out from the world now wins a world of his own. And in that moment, the three metamorphoses of the spirit become your own story.